Didn't take long after President Biden announced that he would no longer seek re-election for the words "black women" to trend on social media. That's in part due to that voting bloc significance to the Democratic Party, but also the increasing likelihood that Vice President Kamala Harris could replace Biden and become the nominee at the top of the ticket. So I want to bring in longtime award-winning Chicago Sun-Times journalist Maudlyne Ihejirika to further our coverage of this big story. Good morning. Think you're on mute.
Good morning.
Good morning. So let's start with your reaction to Joe Biden's announcement and immediate endorsement of Kamala Harris.
I think that, like the rest of the nation and indeed the world, I was speechless. This is something that has never been done since 1968. And so, but on the other hand, was not very surprised because the president has been badgered to do so since his poor showing in that first debate. When you have the majority of your party growing in their advice that you should not run again, there's really no other way to go. In terms of Kamala Harris and his endorsement of her, there's no surprise there. She's his vice president.
Yeah, and the same weekend that the Democratic Party loses Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, there is this possibility of this major moment for Kamala Harris. Much has been made of who has yet to endorse her, especially former President Barack Obama. What did you make of that? And do you think that there is a ticket that could be successful without Kamala Harris at the top at this point?
I think that much is being made of the former president, Barack Obama, stopping short of endorsing Kamala. But I think that we are making much ado of nothing, because when you are friends with someone who is going through a very traumatic situation, you want to focus on that individual and that individual's legacy. And I think that, to weigh in on Kamala would, at this point, within this particular news cycle, get lost in the cacophony of those who are and are not. And I think that former President Obama wanted to focus on his friend. There will be time aplenty for us to find out who's for, who's not for, but I think he did the right thing.
That's a good point. A lot of people have deja vu right now when it comes to the times that we're in. We have unpopular wars going on in the world, a recent assassination attempt on the former president, these murky political waters, and of course, the DNC being right here in Chicago. So what lessons from 1968 do you see our country, or the Democratic Party especially, doing a better job with this time around?
I think that the Democratic Party really has a rare opportunity, because this particular convention is going to have the eyes of the world. I don't know what sort of viewership numbers the RNC received, but DNC, with all of its controversy and now at the brink of choosing a new nominee, is going to have the eyes of the world, and I think the eyes of U.S. voters. And I think they have a rare opportunity to really show that the Democratic Party is not this fractured entity that it has become, and unified behind one candidate. I think that this is their moment, and I think they'll rise to it.
And do you think that the party could still seem unified? There was a call last night. 45,000 black women raised $1 million in 3 hours. Do you think that the party could still seem unified, or what message would it send to that voting bloc if it were not Kamala Harris as the nominee in the end?
Look, Kamala Harris raised $27 million in the wake in the immediate wake, and that number's growing, of Biden throwing his support behind her. So yes, there is a huge segment of U.S. voters that are saying, okay, let's do this. Let's make history. They need something to hold on to, particularly in this divided climate that we live in, and with all the chicanery that is occurring at the presidential campaign level. And so I think that, yes, there is going to be a huge pressure on the Democratic Party to respond in kind, because there are some voters who believe that this is what is going to turn around the Democratic Party. ticket, that this is making history is going to bring people together. It's going to bring BIPOC individuals together. It's going to bring women together. Emily's list is already activating. I was on a couple of those calls, just listening and observing and hearing what's happening across the nation. Black women are activating. So I think that the Democratic Party really stands a chance of losing a huge block of its voters if it does not, do this in a very transparent process.
Thank you, Maudlyne Ihejirika. We appreciate you as always. I hope your next birthday weekend is a little less politically active as this one.
I thank you so much.
All right, take care.